scared about having a kid, they can use abstinence if they don't want to have a kid.
Okay, but can't women do all the same things as well?
Yeah.
So then why is the man solely responsible for getting a woman pregnant, or does it take two people?
No, it does take two people, but I think ultimately it is up to the woman because it's her body that it affects.
Why does
her body?
So your argument is defeated, you dumb fat bitch. Yo, this is what I'm trying to say, bro. Girls sometimes they just talk to talk and they don't understand that what you just said makes no logical sense, and they're okay with existing in a world like that where they
don't have to make sense.
She contradicted herself just now.
It doesn't matter. They like to live an ideological reality.
Well, I've always said it before. Bill Burr said this shit famously, and he said that a lot of women say stupid shit because no one ever tells them to shut up or that they're stupid. You know what I mean? Because they're too scared of offending her and they're trying to get laid. And I think one of the best things you could do is actually tell a girl that was stupid, or yeah, that wasn't really smart, or whatever. And I mean, it's a make or break moment. Don't get it twisted, guys. Like, some girls might just get up and walk off the date, but the fact that you have the balls to say it should be like, damn, okay, I respect this motherfucker. He pissed me off, but I respect him. And honestly, guys, a girl respecting you is the most important thing. I don't think enough guys understand that respect is a requirement. It's an ingredient to proper love from a woman. A woman can't love you for real unless she respects you first.
So many women act like it's their duty to have kids when it's actually their choice.
It's not always your choice.
Well, I've never said always, but isn't it usually their choice?
Here we go.
I mean, unless a woman has, unconsensual sex.
No, she can have a slip up. She can get raped. It's all kind of stuff. And some women don't believe in abortion.
Yeah, this is the 1%. You can't.
They did a study on this. Only about 3% of pregnancies occur from rape. But girls always say that stupid shit.
So they just go with the punches.
I'm getting aborted. What about if she gets raped? Abortion is
3% is pretty. 3% is higher than I thought, though.
Out of 100, bro.
3%. That's a lot.
I mean, it's still.
That's worth mentioning, though. 3% of pregnancies are R-word.
Are what?
Yeah. Rape? I can say rape.
But bro, it's still statistically insignificant. I think it might be even less. I was looking. The Florida stats are like 1 or 2. Me and Rolo did a whole thing on this. If you guys want, we did a whole video on YouTube with Rolo Tomasi. It was the video. Name of the video.
Well, what do you think about that? Should they be able to abort it if it's
100%? Yeah. I think that they should. Honestly, I think girls should be able to abort. I'm pro-choice. I'm not even I don't have. Right, but my thing is that we have this crazy concept in the United States thinking we live in a rape culture. Not at all.
No, there's no rape culture, but that's way higher than I thought. 1 in 33 women. 1 in 33 pregnant women is rape.
No, it's not.
What about the men that get held down?
Yeah. Well, here's okay. So I have a whole video on this, guys. If you guys really want to dive into this, where we debunk that they say rape culture is a myth in the United States. It's not as common as people think it is, and they use the faulty CDC stat. They're like, 1 in 5 college women gets raped on a college campus. That's not true. I mean, think about that.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that that's worth bringing up. If it's actually 3% of pregnancies are raped, that's worth
out of 100.
Yeah, I'm aware out of 100. That's way more than I thought.
It's still very
way more than I thought.
Yeah, it's still very low.
But what about the guys that get trapped?
That's true. That's true. There's no statistic for that. That's true.
Slip up, she can get raped. It's all kind of stuff. And some women don't believe in aborting their kids either. So they just go with the punches, roll with the flow, keep the baby.
Don't women ultimately decide who gets sex and who gets born?
They have a plan.
Who gets sex? Yeah, but not who gets born.
Well, sure they do, because women always have the option to choose whether they want to keep the child or not.
Right, but as I said, some women don't believe in aborting a baby. So even if you're in a bad situation, you still keep it.
But that's still their choice.
Right, and you make the right choice to not kill a life.
Why do women often claim to be the creators of life when the child is wanted, but when the pregnancy is
real quick, I just want to let the people know. Obviously, guys, I'm talking about early on in the pregnancy, not fucking 7 months in, 9 months in, crazy ass New York or whatever. I'm talking about way early, first month or two, in that range.
First month?
Yeah, but once you start getting into
WL chat, what do you think?
Yeah,
most people in here are pro-life. I have a very religious audience.
Yeah, no, of course, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's one of the things that I do. I am. That's why I don't take blindly say I'm a full-on far right or conservative. No, there's some things that I do. I'm a little bit more in the middle on. That's why I tend to be more. I would subscribe more to libertarian, if anything.
I was saying that too. I'm a libertarian.
But my thing is, obviously to a certain point. I'm not saying in New York, 9 months, yeah, you could still abort that baby. No, that's fucking crazy to me. But early on, in the first month or something like that, I think, it is what it is.
Kill that baby.
Yeah.
Planned.
And then there was one other thing I was gonna say too. Oh yeah, as far as the the video I was talking about with rape culture is a myth. Guys, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. It does definitely still exist.
But there's no culture.
But it's not a culture, and it's not as because you guys like a lot of people watch crime dramas. They watch too many Jeffrey Dahmer fucking Netflix shows. Like all I'm saying is that rape is not as prevalent as mainstream society tries to tell you. It's actually very rare,
especially on college campuses. It's a lie to make.
Yeah, on college campus. Yeah, I mean, just do the numbers in your head. If 1 in 5 women was actually being sexually assaulted or raped on college campus, no one would send their daughters to college.
No,
1 in 5. That's 20%. That's wild. That's a wild statistic.
Now 20% is wild, but 3% is nothing.
No, well, 20% on the college campus.
Yeah.
But and then the other thing too. Also, you know how they got that stat?
No.
So I actually went and looked at how they came to that number of 1 in 5. So what they did was they did a phone poll, right?
Oh, okay.
And in the phone poll,
the only people that are going to call in have stories to talk about. Regular girls are not going to call into a.
It gets even crazier. They counted if you got catcalled. They counted,
as rape.
Yeah. Every
girl's been catcalled.
Well, here's the thing: sexual assault is an ambiguous term.
But they said I sexually assaulted the girl when I said that she needs to get fucked, and I was explaining how.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
They said that that's sexual harassment. Through a camera.
Like sexual assault is very ambiguous depending on the state. Every state has different statutes. So, like, they counted catcalling. Get this: if you had sex with a girl and either one of you had a drink, they consider it sexual assault.
Right, but I was never, if I'm drunk and I fuck another drunk girl, I wasn't raped. It's always the girl that's raped. She's the one that can't consent, but a guy can always consent.
Here's the crazier part. If you had one, and even married couples, like if they're in a relationship, whatever, they count it, like if you had one drink, it was considered rape.
The Title IX, they taught that in school.
What else did they, if they called in and said, I think that I was sexually assaulted, and they didn't have proof. So it was 100% phone poll. So that's how they got that crazy 1 in 5.
That's why I always tell, like, when I
always got to look at
when I debate liberals and smart boys, they always bring up data like this statistic here. I'm like, all this is manipulated. Where are you getting these polls? Just because it's on a website and supports what you think doesn't mean it's automatically true, and you cannot believe it as a fact. All these are manipulated.
So the real thing that you got to look at is the Bureau of Justice statistics, right, from the DOJ. That's the most accurate representation of like actual real crime, because like that's like where arrests are used, etc. So these like stupid ass college polls, like literally, if you think that it happened, if you imagined it happened, like it was crazy, the metrics that they use. And that's how they got that crazy 1 in 5 number, how it was so inflated. So I have a whole episode on that. If y'all want it, just go on YouTube, Fresh and Fit, type in rape culture is a myth, and y'all will see it.
Or Stephen Crowder's
all the
really
studies in there too.
Eugenics 10, Myron, you're saying it wrong. It's not 3% of pregnancies are from rape. It's that only 3% of rapes result in pregnancy.
There we go.
Okay, because 3% of 100 pregnant women from rape is a crazy, crazy amount. That's the thing.
That my bad. Thank you so much. I'm a million miles in a minute, and I haven't slept really. Yes, 3% of pregnancies are from rape. It's that only 3% of rapes result in pregnancy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The creators of life when the child is wanted,
Go watch that video.
but when the pregnancy is
articulated properly in there.
It's on Fedit?
No, on YouTube. If they search rape culture.
Don't go to YouTube. That website's
unplanned, it suddenly becomes the man's fault for not wearing a condom.
I don't think that's like at least in my head, I don't think that's a popular opinion. I don't blame it on the men. You know, it does take two people to get pregnant.
But why is it then that a lot of times, it'll be like the man got me knocked up, you know what I mean, as opposed to saying that it was two people,
That's a great question. Get me knocked up.
Feminist questioning herself with the septum piercing. Never thought about this in her life before.
She's getting attacked with logic.
If I had to give a controversial answer, I think that a lot of it just comes from like a negative disposition towards men that like most women tend to have.
Wow.
Like for survival, we have negative dispositions towards men.
Can you elaborate more on that? What do you mean towards survival?
That's a good answer.
So it's really dangerous to be a woman. Like every woman has a taser, every woman has pepper spray. Like, first dates are scary. My friend needs my location because the worst.
Speaking of controversial takes, should she be afraid of getting, like, does she really need a taser?
I mean, she could just body slam the motherfucker.
Thing that can happen is that I get sexually assaulted and murdered. But, the worst thing that could happen for a man on a first date is that it just goes wrong.
See, that is common female rhetoric, thinking that every guy on
a date is going to kidnap you. That's what all these Jeffrey Dahmer documentaries, all these murder documentaries, they think that there's serial killers wandering around like that, when in reality, no, you don't need to live in fear to that level. You should be able to see the red flags before you go on a date with a guy. This guy, is it really that common?
Not only, yeah, it's not that common. And the other thing too, and here's the other thing too, men are 60, like almost twice as likely, far more likely to be victims of violent crimes than women are. So like women have all these crazy, I'm going to get kidnapped, I'm going to get killed, blah, 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 blah. You're far more likely to experience that as a man than as a woman. So again, a lot of girls watch like crime dramas. A lot of girls like watch Netflix and watch all these fucking, you know, crazy serial killer shows. And they wonder why, like, yo, what the hell? Like, why am I like, you know, I'm going to get